Alright, you guys are in another video blog for Fit and Trim. Basically, we're going to try to, get you guys the knowledge and the awareness you need to know in order to optimize your wellness and health. Okay? Fit and Trim Medical is based on that. It's the holistic and sensible approach to help people transform their lives. So today's topic is I take it very personal because I'm somewhat going to go I'm going to point out some things that we're doing wrong as an industry. All right, so I'm going to talk about what the fitness and wellness industry don't want you to know. And it's important to understand that we're consistently living our lives in what we call different biases. And biases is basically fallacies that are in our brain all the time. And we make decisions, irrational decisions based on that. And what I want you guys to know about the industry, a little bit about it, is that one thing is what we do to be healthy and to be active and to have a proactive lifestyle, and then there's a different part of what we sell. So every industry has the action, and then what they actually do and how it works, and then the other one is how we sell it and we present it. And I've always been kind of one of those that feels that it's time to really not tell the truth, but be more transparent and be more realistic on how wellness, weight loss, fitness, or optimizing results works, right? And if you're more aware of this, you can probably understand it and start making the changes necessary. Okay? Now, one of the things that in the fitness industry and wellness industry we focus on is the transaction of getting getting you as a consumer, right? So most consumers are looking for a product or service that can help them get results right away. Right? You guys are looking for that new supplement, that new workout, that 30-second, that 30-second sprint that's going to give you the 20 pounds that you wanted to lose. And if you really talk to the people that have optimized their health, that's not how it works at all. Right? So in our industry, we created the narrative of lose 20 pounds in 20 days, 5 inches in 5 days, lose, get the best health of your life in a week. And that's not how it works. It takes a lot of patience. You didn't get the body that you have. Let's say if you were, you've been living not an unhealthy lifestyle. You didn't get that body in a week. You didn't get it in a month. You got it out of years or probably, for a long time. And you're not going to change that in a week or in a month. It takes time. And believe me, there's absolutely, point number one that I'm going to give you guys. Because you got to be very, very, very mindful. Number one, there's absolutely no supplement. There's absolutely no supplement that can change that. That is the biggest fallacy and lie that the industry has been telling us. The wellness, not just the fitness and wellness industry. There's absolutely no supplementation that can change that I know of, that has the scientific research to really do that. Everything has to come from a holistic approach. There has to be changes being made from everything, from the way you eat, for the way you sleep, the activity levels that you have every day, your levels of stress. It's all about all the different pillars of your life combined. If I'll give you an example. If you meet a really fit person and you stop them for a second and you say, look, I want to know, can you please describe to me how is it that you got there? I'm going to be sure, I'm almost going to bet that the first thing he's going to tell you is what he eats. Number 2 is how many times he trains a day. Number 3 is how mindful is he of his lifestyle. Number 4 is how focused he is. And then number 5, he might get you the supplement. He might say, you know what, but I also take this amino acids, I take these vitamins, I'll take that. But that is the last thing he'll probably mention to you. And what we've done as an industry is we've talked more about the supplement than the actual process. Because the thing is, the brain has a cognitive bias that it wants short-term gains and wants to get rid of the short-term pains. That's why credit card companies make so much money. Short-term gains, you swipe the credit card, you get the products, and you get rid of the short-term pain because you don't have to pay it right now, to pay it later. So we created this concept that supplements are the key, and they're not. That's why in Fit and Trim Medical, we focus so much on helping patients create a process be mindful and create a protocol, create a therapy that not only connects a supplement, but it connects, it connects their psychology, it connects their physical activity, it connects their eating, it connects the decision making, it connects everything. And the last thing we ever add to what we do is a supplement. All right. Number 2, nothing. I guess the second point that I want to make, and it's something that we've kind of seen happening a lot in sports, is high level athletes take a lot of supplement. I wouldn't say supplement, but they take a lot of stuff you don't know about. Okay. Whenever we've seen all these athletes, what's been going on with doping and athletes that are consistently being tested. I think recently it happened with the guys that do the biking, even the UFC, or in professional sports. We find a lot of that. That they use enhanced performing medication or bioidentical hormones or anabolics, and those are things that you're never going to be advertised to, because that's illegal to advertise, right? If I say to you, get this six-pack, but take, this many cc's of hormones with this many cc's of testosterone with this many cc's of this prescription medication, you would think twice about, what you're doing. And as an industry, we're creating these guys that look amazing, and they have a 12-pack, they have the best physique, but they're selling you a protein shake. And they're saying, I got this way with this protein shake. This protein shake did it. And that's far from the truth. So the second point is, we're not telling you the truth. So let's just put the word truth to it. All right? Let's just put the word truth to it. We're not. And you have to be aware of that. It's not to take away their conditioning. It's not to take away how much they train. Not to take away their dedication. But the truth of the matter is, most people's bodies, when it gets to that physique, it doesn't get there naturally. It does need an extra help, a synthetic help. And most of you are very unaware of that. And it's important to, be mindful that your result is to get as healthier as you can first. And then if you want to optimize your health, then you can look at other ways to do that, or optimize your fitness per se. Okay. The third point that I want to make here is something called contrast bias. And you're consistently on social media, in things that you constantly interact, and you create something called contrast bias. Is you compare yourself to others consistently. So if you're looking at Facebook or you're looking at Instagram and you see a very fit person, you right away go ahead and compare yourself to that person. But the problem is, that person has been doing this for such a long time, and yet you have this contrast bias that you feel you're going to get like that in such a short period of time. And it doesn't happen like that at all. And one of the main things that you guys have to understand is, before you do any inner investing, invest in a personal trainer. In the outer investing. If you invest in a personal trainer, in a supplement, if you invest in getting on a fitness program, if you invest in doing all those things, but you have to, lose more than, let's say, 20, 30 pounds, that's probably the most inefficient type of investment you're doing. The number one investment you should make, if you have to lose more than 20 pounds, if your health has not been right for the last 5 years, 3 years, and you consistently just, not staying not having momentum in what you're doing, is called inner investing. You got to invest in first being aware of how things work, on education, on emotional support, on maybe understanding what's working for you, and understanding your body, understanding your fallacies. You should invest first in understanding what's going on, instead of investing on an actionable thing. All right. So the third point I'll make on this is inner investing. Most of us got to do more inner investing than outer investing. We won't tell you that. The fitness and the wellness industry is never going to tell you, get yourself aware of what's going on. Understand nutrition, understand psychology, understand the triggers, what's triggering you to eat what you eat, understand your environment. Is it your work? Is it your marriage? Is it your boyfriend? Is it the weather? Understand. Nobody's going to tell you that, because we're looking to transact on you as quickly as possible. Now, for us, we built up so much value in our community that we understand that making you guys aware allows our service to even work better. Because now when we take a person that's self-aware of what they want and self-aware that they need a process, then we can introduce them to a very hyper-focused process. And that is the key. If you buy a supplement, that's like you buying a gym membership. Yes, you bought the gym membership, but when you go there, you don't really know what workout to do, where to start, what's the best process, when you should do cardio, should you eat before you work out, should you eat after, you don't know. So most likely, 90% of the time, a recent study came out and said that only 8% of the population reached the New Year's resolution. So 92% of the time, whenever you get your gym membership, you're not going to get anything out of it. Absolutely nothing. Because you don't have a plan. And sometimes we create this fallacy of saying, why should I pay for a plan? Right? Why should I hire somebody to help me with the plan? I can do this myself. And that is a fallacy, because sometimes you do need help. Sometimes you do need somebody to guide you. I personally have a personal trainer. Why? I do understand fitness well enough. I've been in the industry for over, I would say, maybe 8-9 years. But I need somebody that understands my weakness and tries to focus me on getting my strengths. That's like in any environment, you always need to have somebody like a type of mentorship. And we're trying to take away the mentorship approach and just give you a supplement. I guarantee you GNC makes all this money in the world, and most people don't get the results from it. Most, I'm willing to say over 90% don't get the results. And the science does show that. We're becoming a much unhealthier population. We're having the biggest medical crisis that we ever had in the history of our country. And that is all because we're trying to transact in our health. You should not transact on your health. And yet, our industry, which we're doing, fitness and wellness, is we're telling you, yes, you should transact on it. Just buy the supplement. Just buy the 20-day fat burner. Just do the 10-day detox. Just do the 5-day marathon. It just doesn't work like that. Very much, the key to everything here is understanding that supplements are not the key. We're not telling you the truth, and you got to do more inner investing. Inner investing is key. If I want to, let's say I want to start a business or something, right? Before I go and buy a business, just buy it. I think it would be great if I hire somebody to help me understand business, or maybe buy a book. Do more inner investing. If I buy a book, if I go to a seminar, if I go and go to school for it, that's inner investing. I'm getting the information I need so when I buy the business, I can be successful. There's nothing different about that when it comes to health. It's not. So what we as an industry have done is understand that most people are so desperate to get results, they're willing to transact on their health every day. And Instagram, Facebook is doing that extremely well. They show you the fittest people you can ever see. They show you a product and you buy it. And then 30 days later, you're like, well, it didn't work for me. Well, again, it didn't work for you because you didn't know the truth, and you didn't do inner investing. All right? So just be very, very understandable. The contrast bias is always going to put you in a situation where you're going to compare yourself, and you're going to want to get there as quickly as possible. But patience matters. You have to be patient and take it step by step. All right? I hope this video gives you guys a good perspective. I hope it makes you understand that just like anything in life, wellness, weight loss, and vitality is a process. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. For most of you, you're trying to make it a sprint. And if you don't rewire this part of your body, this one is never going to change. Remember that, okay? All right, guys. Thank you for participating on this video blog. It's my pleasure. I hope you guys can communicate more with us. info@fitandtrimhealth.com, fitandtrimhealth.com. And hopefully our online program should be coming out soon. Thank you.